Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kurejandi as we continue our build on this Nordheim map that was included in the Map Pack 3 Content Creator Pack. So in our last episode, there have been two DLCs that were issued for City Skylines. One would be the countryside, and one would be the emerging downtowns. So the countryside has some distinct assets that we can use. The emerging downtowns, no assets we can use individually, but we can certainly zone them in to get some unique looking buildings in our zones. So I did take one little area over here in the map and to see how this would look. And you can see right over here, we'll take Strawberry Hills. I've created the emerging downtowns zoning for this, and you can see we got some really nice row housing here, some townhomes, some nice apartment complex. And over here we have more of the mixed use, where you might have storefronts on the bottom and apartments on the top. Great thing about these are all level 1 buildings right now. They will improve as they grow up. They are growables, so they will increase in size and change in stature as they level up. And one of our main objectives in today's build is to build out our university area. And we're going to go do that in this area right over here in this area. And after that, we are going to develop this piece of land over here just on the other side of this highway. If you see the road coming off of the turnabout right here, this is actually a 2-lane highway, 1 lane going each way. I'm going to change that to a boulevard. And as I do that, that will give us access to build out on some land that we don't have access to now. As you can see right now, there is hardly any traffic on this road. So the highway really isn't doing any good. So on this area in the left, if we take that and make that a boulevard, then we'll have access to this area on the left. And I'm thinking that we can use the emerging downtowns area to really build us a nice little section right there. But first things first, let me go and get the university started. So I need to put in a little infrastructure. We'll do that, and we'll be right back. All right, now that we have some basic infrastructure put in place, we need to pick a school for which we're going to put here. And the highest school we have right now is the Liberal Arts College. I do want to use this because when we unlock level 5, it unlocks an art gallery that we can use as a centerpiece to a performing arts district that we can put the opera with, the theater, maybe the grand library, and create a performing arts area. But let's first get started by putting down the administration building, and we're going to put that right over here. And let's put it right here. And then I want to put a park in front of that. I always like to kind of juice these up a little bit to kind of give them some stature. And this isn't going to fit. It's going to have to go down here. So I'll tell you what, let's put the park here, and then we're going to move the administration building down and center it on there. Right there. Okay, and I still want to put a couple more parks in here. I think that we can use this park here, and we put them up next to this building right here and right here. And then I think we also use a couple of plazas in here on either side of the park. Yeah, yep, this plaza here with trees here and here. Now, if you notice that the terrain is really not looking very good because we didn't respect the terrain, so I'm going to put in some landscaping here. And once I get this hooked up to some electricity, I'm going to put in some landscaping to cover up some of this, and I will be right back. Okay, now let's make our school attractive for some students by putting some dormitories in here. I think we're going to put about 4 right along this road right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And next thing I'm going to put in is a liberal arts study hall. And I'm going to put this right next to the dormitory. Right here. And finally, I want to go put in a drama club. I'm going to put this drama club down here on this corner. I just think that it's a natural place for a drama club to be. You might find this more of a corner type building. So let's see how this has affected our university here. So we're up to a capacity of 1605. We do have an attractiveness of 205, which is good enough to get to the next level. But one thing we need to do is to increase our academic staff so that we have a better chance of getting an academic work. We also are up to 45 students already, so we're going to need to get to 500 before we get to the next level. So with that, I think that we are in pretty good shape. The next thing that I want to do is think about putting in a metro station and a bus station in this area right over here. So to do that, let's start out by putting in some roads that's eventually going to house what we consider a transit hub. So we'll put a road out right here, and we're going to make this a true T intersection. We're going to run this road right out here. If we can get it done right, there we go. Run it right out here. Now let's go and try to find us a subway station that's going to work over here. And I like to use these ones that kind of straddle the road. They come out on both sides of the road. And that one right here. And we'll put that right here. And then we want to put in a compact bus station right next to it. So I think that we'll put that compact bus station right here. So we're going to need to run a little water over here. And our ore industry has leveled up to level 4. So at some point we need to go over there and take care of that and try to work on getting that to level 5. All right, once again, we'll get back to running some water right here. And then we also need to water over here. And finally, we got to go and get some electricity from this side of the river across the other side right here. So the next thing we need to do is connect our subway station to the rest of our subway network. And so the great thing about this is that this is actually going to allow us to complete a full circuit through the city. So we're just going to start with, first of all, we'll make it the Freedom so that we can move this around. And I'm going to take this and run this out to the right a little bit because I want to make a bend here so that the train can maintain some speed. Now this connection over here is going to be pretty short, and I'm going to have to bring it straight out, and then I'm going to try to just gently bend it around so that the trains can maintain a pretty decent speed coming through here as they get into the station. So you don't want to really slow your train down. So that will get us a full loop throughout the city, goes down from the industrial area up to the university, through the university up to the northern part of the city. Then all we need to do is run our line down here, our track down here, and we're going to connect the lower tier of the route. And this will give us a complete route for the vertical portion of the city. We got to go down under this underpass, come back up, and then we will connect into this station right here. So this will allow us to do 2 distinctive routes. So now we just have to draw our routes in. So we can start at this station, and we're going to go to the opposite direction here, here, and here, and here, and here. And I think this will come close to completing our route right here. All right, so the original route actually just goes to one spot and comes back. So we're actually, this green line, we're going to go through and we're going to delete it. select that and delete it. Just like that. Now that will allow us to run a line in the opposite direction of the line that we just ran. And this will give us lines going in both directions on the same loop. And it'll provide the best access we have throughout the city. Here. Go here. Here. And we can finish it up right here. And as you can see, we have about 2,000 people riding our public transportation system. So we'll see how this metro loop helps us improve on that. Next thing we need to do is build out some bus routes. But the first thing we got to do is there's no really place for the buses to turn around here. And the way we have this bus stop set up, this compact bus station set up, is that we need a place for the buses to turn around. So let's put in a couple of roads right here. Let's see if we can go right there. We'll come back down and let's go up here. I don't know if that's going to be far enough, and it is not. So I'll tell you what. Let's delete some of this real quick. I think I want to come right there. Yeah, let's get rid of this road, and then bring this back up again so we get past that metro station. All right, let's go. And that's really close to that bridge, but that's just the way it's got to be for right now. So I don't really like that, but that's the way it is. Now our buses have a place that they can turn around. We'll get reconnected here with some electricity. Found a place to come in over here, about right here. We'll bring it in right over here. Okay, so now let's go run some bus routes, and then I will be right back. Okay, so let's get that connected. And then the next thing I really want to do is increase the capacity of this roundabout. And I want to make this take this from a one lane, one way road to a two lane, one way road. And we can do that just by upgrading these from the highway roads that's currently on there to these two lane, one way roads. And we'll get that. We'll upgrade here. Here we go. Here, 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 and there. And there. And the next thing we want to do is the area that we want to grow in, build in, we need to terraform. So let me do that and I will be right back. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is take this road. I want to get it across the river, and then I want to run it kind of down the center of this strip of land that we're trying to develop to kind of make that downtown feel, that give it a little bit bigger road to go down and make some businesses set up upon. So let's take this. I'll tell you what, I think this is going to be better if we come at it from the other end. Let me try this. Let's try to take it from the other end. So we'll start it off somewhere right around here. There we go. And we'll cover it around. And then we're going to run it right back down here and try to get it all lined up with our bridge that we just built. And hook it in right there. So the next thing we want to do is put some infrastructure in. So let me build out some roads, run some pipes, get some electricity done, and then I will be right back. So now that we have the roads built, some water put in, some electricity, we've got things zoned in, it's time to put in some municipal buildings, and we want to put in a fire station and a police station over here. So we're going to use a little bit larger one so we get a little bit better coverage. So let's try to find a place for this fire station. I do like it here, but I'm kind of concerned about putting it on this busy road, but we're going to put it right there. I'm not sure that's going to work in the long term, and then we're going to get the police headquarters. We're going to put it right there, and they'll be right across the street so that they'll be visible when you come into the subdivision. Now I've got some things that are spawning here. I want to take a look. I have everything zoned in at high density commercial and high density residential, but I'm not sure that the emerging downtown uses those assets. They may use the high density residential and the low density commercial. So let me come over here. I got to get some electricity run over here so these things won't abandon on me. So let me do that. Let's see if I can come right here, and we'll do that right there. So let's look at this. These really aren't what I'm looking for, I don't think. I think I need to go back and rezone this using the low density commercial instead of the high density commercial. But let me check it out. We'll let a couple other things come in before we do that. Yeah, so it does look like it uses low density commercial and high density residential in this. So let's go in and let's rezone some of this stuff so that we get some the proper assets populating the map here, so that we can have a nice downtown looking area coming through this main arterial right here. We'll take these out, all of this over here and here. While we're doing this, I do want to say thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate you watching the channel. If you like the content that you see, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when we're putting out new content, please make sure you hit the notification bell. And if you like the content, and the biggest thing you can do for us is to hit the like button. That tells the algorithm that you liked it, and the algorithm will show it to more people, and they'll get more views, and that just helps the channel tremendously. So I do thank you for joining today. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, I've gotten a couple of suggestions. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know. If there's something you want me to name, tell me what you want me to name, and I'll see if I can fit it in. I want to hear all your suggestions. Tell me what I'm doing wrong in the builds, or tell me where I have see opportunities to make things better. Okay, and I really want to hear all that. So also watch out for my new video I got coming out with the Caldera County map. That should be out within the next couple of weeks. All right, so we're starting to get things built in here, things that I think that we're wanting that's a little bit better. And I think if we can see some of the buildings coming in now, these are much better. These are much more like the buildings that we want from the emerging downtown DLC. And as we watch these buildings start to come in, this is going to wrap us up for the day. But before we go, once again, I want to say thank you for joining the channel. I'm going to leave you with a short city tour to kind of show you some of the things that we've done and how the city has grown. I can't believe we're at almost 30,000 population already. So I do want to say thank you very much for joining, and I hope you join us again. We'll talk to you soon. My name is Ken. This is Ken Tays Plays, and we'll catch you next time.